Imagine getting paid just for sharing your thoughts on products and services you use every day. With Survey Junkie, it's that simple. Click on the link in the video description to discover how you can start earning today by taking surveys.
Martha's Vineyard's legal supply of marijuana is set to go up in smoke in a matter of weeks, leaving well-heeled tokayers at a loss as to where they'll get their fix. As it stands, there are only 2 dispensaries on the isle, one of which will be closed come September. The other is already shuttered, albeit temporarily, due to a lack of product and regulations that bar pot from being shipped across federal waters. The island, meanwhile, is considered part of Massachusetts, and is separated by a bay that for the most part is U.S. property. Worsening matters is that Fine Fettle, the vineyard's only legally permitted cannabis producer, has stopped growing, brining the posh Bay State getaway frequented by figures like the Obamas to its knees. At the heart of the issue are those who actually live there, some of whom spoke out this week at the prospect of taking a 45-minute ferry ride to the mainland to secure what some, such as 81-year-old Sally Rizzo, need medically. Scroll down for video. As it stands, there are only 2 dispensaries on the island, one of which will be closed come September. Pictured, the Fine Fettle Cannabis Dispensary on June 4th, a month after owners announced it will soon close due regulatory and financial factors unique to the island. The nice thing about getting it at a dispensary is that you can tell them specifically what you're looking for, and know the milligrams, and know the potency, and what's in it, the senior told AP of her unwillingness to score illegally. She went on to recall how last week, after making her usual drive from her home on the 10 miles wide, 20 miles long island to the Island Time dispensary, she was told by owner Jeff Rose of the seriousness of the shortage. He showed her how his entire store stock was bare and how he'd been forced to temporarily close shop 3 weeks earlier, after Fine Fettle put an end to its grow-op, while also announcing it will close its similarly named dispensary later this year. Very sadly, we have had to make the decision to slow down and then ultimately shut down operations on the vineyard, company president Benjamin Zacks told the Vineyard Gazette last month by telephone. We do have quite a bit of inventory, and it's fresh and good, he added, before disclaiming the dispensary is sure to run of its stock by September the latest. Reasons given were that the trailblazing operation, no pun intended, failed to overcome regulatory and financial factors unique to the island, like the fact that cannabis producers there are required to test their own soils. On the mainland, such an undertaking would be left up to a third-party laboratory, but because the waters around Martha's Vineyard are under federal jurisdiction, Fettle had to set up its own protocols to avoid violating the federal marijuana ban. For us, while Martha's Vineyard is in Massachusetts, he explained, it's like a whole other state with a whole other regulatory structure. The other, Island Time in Vineyard Haven, is already shuttered, albeit temporarily, due to a lack of product. Pictured, a closed sign is attached to the door of the Island Time Cannabis Dispensary on June 3rd. At the heart of the issue are those who actually live there, some of whom spoke out this week at the prospect of taking a 45-minute ferry ride to the mainland to secure what some, such as 81-year-old Sally Rizzo, need medically. She went on to recall how last week, after making her usual drive from her home on the 10 miles wide, 20 miles long island to the Island Time dispensary, she was told by owner Jeff Rose, seen here in the temporarily shuttered store, of the seriousness of the shortage. Further hampering his facility's yield was the summer getaway's seasonal ebbs and flows, which left growers in the lurch when it came to fine tailoring the famously finicky facets of cannabis production when it comes to weather and climate. The plants don't care what time of year it is, he said of the outdoor operation, which until now had supplied not only Rose's store, but the 230 registered medical users littered about the island. Thousands more who use the drug recreationally are also part of the vineyard's weed market, which is not experiencing competition from dispensaries in places like Cape Cod, located right across the bay on a peninsula that juts off the mainland. There, customers can pick up their goods on the way to the vineyard inst.